Hello everyone, welcome to Unacademy Special Classes, and this session is in regards to in-depth analysis of editorials and articles which will be useful for your prelims and as well as the mains examinations. And about me, I am Sandeep Bhushan Thummala. I have 8 years of teaching experience for civil services. I teach international relations, internal security and also in-depth analysis of editorials and articles which will be very useful for your prelims as well as mains examination in regards to your factual and also analytical point of view. And this is video or this session is in regards to how to crack prelims and mains 2020, which will be very useful in regards to factual and analytical also. And prior to that, you have a notification in regards to Let's Crack UPSC CSE English, which is India's largest learning platform. And once you subscribe to this, you will have unlimited live and recorded courses from India's best educators. And not only that, you have other privileges wherein you can go ahead with the daily live classes, live testing quizzes, and also you have the structured courses along with the unlimited access to the all the educators and all the courses. And these are the educators, top educators at Unacademy, and these are the others who are also the top educators wherein you can see it on your screen. And these are the in regards to the UPSC Let's Crack UPSC CSE English channel. You have all these courses which are seen or which are visible on your screen, and along with this you have the others also in regards to Let's Crack UPSC CS English, the courses essay writing, CSAT, Indian Society, and also in regards to the interview preparation also. And in regards to notification, you have 12 months notification, 12 month subscription, and also 24-month subscription. So this is in regards to the Let's Crack UPSC CSE English subscription. So you can go ahead with the 24-month subscription, because 24-month subscription, the original price is 48,000, and you can subscribe by using my code SBT10, that is Sandeep Bhushan Thummala. You will get 10% discount, wherein the original price is 48,000, but once you subscribe using my code, you will get 10% discount, and the discounted amount is 43,200. So it's always recommended to go ahead with the 24-month subscription, because you are effectively paying only the amount which you will be paying for 13 months, but you have the opportunity or the privilege to go ahead with the 24-month subscription. So please do make the maximum benefit of the opportunity. What you have, that you can just pay for 13 months, but you will have the 24-month subscription. And wherein civil services preparation, that is UPSC, it requires 24 months or 2 years of solid preparation in regards to the getting through the examination. So it's always recommended to take the maximum benefit out of the privilege or the opportunity what you have right now. So go ahead with using my code SBT10, Sandeep Bhushan Thummala 10. Now we'll get into the topic, that is the in-depth analysis of today's editorials and articles, which you will have a very good information in regards to civil services prelims and also in regards to the mains point of view. And prior to getting into the topic, I would say a big hi to and good morning to everyone. Sushanta joined, Jannavi, Harpreet Singh, Kumar Sarosh, Shivanand, Sonath, Kumari, Vaishnavi, everyone, very good morning to you all. And this is in regards to the topic what we have taken today. Now please user, okay, good morning to you also, and hi to everyone who is also watching in YouTube. So can you please guess what is the topic for today? What is the topic for today? Mule Alok, Monica Konari has joined. Hi to everyone. Hi to both of you also. And any guesses? What is the topic in regards to? This is in regards to today's editorial itself. Today's editorial. So definitely it is. I mean, any guesses? Wild guesses, or to be precise guesses from the one who are part of the class now? All these Jahnavi, Sushant, Harpreet, Kumar, Shivanand, everyone. Trump on immigration cancellation. Okay, Alok says that Trump on immigration cancellation. Okay, he has gone ahead with a kind of decision that he would definitely take in regards to the immigration policy. Very well said. And others, Sushant, Monica, Kumari Vaishnavi, Kumar Saurav, Jahnavi, Harpreet, America First Policy. Okay. America First Policy. Very good. Okay. Fine. Sushant, I'll be waiting, but still further I will get into the class. So today's editorial, which talks about exploiting a pandemic. Exploiting a pandemic. Definitely, definitely. Kumari Vaishnav says America First Policy. Yes, definitely. So as we all know that Trump is in almost on the verge of completing his first term, and then in November this year, 2020, US will go ahead with again US presidential elections, and Trump is wanting to continue as a president even in his second term. Fine. So on the basis of that, or on the based on the protection, or on the going ahead with that, he should continue in the second term as a president also. So he is trying to take, or he has taken every chance in his stride to make sure that he is actually for the America first, or he is making America great. That America great or America first, or let's make America great. Fine. So he is trying to take all the opportunity, whatever is coming in his way, in his path, to make sure that he would go ahead with impressing, or he would be successful in the November 2020 elections. So even the pandemic situation, that is COVID-19 pandemic situation also, he has taken into consideration, or in his stride, making it sure that it would benefit him in the November 2020 presidential election. We have seen immediately has gone ahead, I mean, to refer this virus as a coronavirus, referring it to China, or else China saying that it's a China coronavirus. So definitely he is trying to put blame on the others. That is, in regards to this, when he is saying China coronavirus, that means he wanted to make sure that it is, I mean, Trump is not really the one who is responsible for the death cases or the infected cases, but immediately he has gone ahead with the blame game theory, wherein he was trying to blame the China. That is because China did not really react at the initial stages, or did not try to contain the spread of virus. That is why China is held responsible for the spread of virus, and the way it has spread the entire globe, and then it has infected many people. I mean, lakhs, millions of people, and then even in regards to the mortality rate, wherein the one who is really aggressive in making the statements against China is the Donald Trump, because we know very well Trump, as I said, that he will go for the elections, or the America would go for elections, that is presidential elections in the year 2020, that is in the month November 2020. So definitely Trump is trying to take all the routes to make sure that he would attack China, and in the midst of attacking China, he would gain profits, or he would gain more of confidence with the Americans, that he would be elected once again in the elections. So Anshu Priya has joined, and Richa Yadav has joined. A very good morning and a hi to everyone. Right. So here, when we look at, he started almost 2 years back. He started trying to impress the Americans. He started trying to impress the Americans right from, what you say, 2 years, almost close to 2018 itself started. That was in regards to the US China trade war. That is in regards to the US China trade war. So definitely we have seen that the way he was trying to attack China in regards to the way trading is taking place, and then he has US Trump has also gone ahead with imposing the restrictions, or imposing the import duties, so that the China products which are in USA would be restricted. So that he was directly trying to attack China in the sense China's trade, and then he was making sure that this US China trade war will definitely make sure that China's economy will slow down, so that China's economy will slow down. So he was trying to take everything possible so that China's economy will slow down. So he was trying to take all the measures, or whatever was coming in his way. He was trying to take the advantage, and it started since 2018. We are not just talking about pandemic. He has taken the situation, or is trying to take the pandemic even in his try to win the elections in the November 2020. But China he was trying to, because he was making it very clear the trade policy also, the trade policy of US, trade policy of US also, he was going ahead that it will really benefit the Americans or American traders or American businessmen. So that was his concern right from 2018 itself. The way he was trying to attack China in regards to trade, that is China-US trade war, and then now he has taken this war against the other countries in regards to immigration, trying to take the pandemic situation and then making sure that it will really help the Americans. As I mean, many of them said that it is America first, or trying to make sure that he has gone ahead with the policy of going ahead with the policy to cancel many of the visas so that the jobs will be protected. The Americans will have their own jobs, and then immigrants will not take away the jobs of the Americans. So who is responsible for that? Definitely for that, even Americans are responsible, because if there are definitely an experienced and qualified persons or Americans to be worked in any of the sectors, it could be formal or informal sectors, and they would get the job. But in turn, because it could be the immigrants, it could be from Asia, or it could be from Latin America, or it could be from West Asia, also Southeast Asia. When you look at, they are the one who are having qualified and then also ready to work, so that they would make the money. They would have the better livelihood. So in that regards, it is not the immigrants who are actually stealing or taking away the jobs of the Americans. It is the Americans who are responsible that they are not getting jobs, because they are kind of lethargic. They do not want to do any kind of work, so that those works will be actually taken up, are being taken up by the Asians or the rest of the country, or the rest of the immigrants which are moving from various countries into US. So now we will look into the situation or the immigration policy. We will look at the Trump's immigration policy. Why Trump has gone ahead with this, as we have discussed. So we will look at Trump's immigration or immigration policy. Trump's immigration policy. Tip. Fine. Okay. Before I move to the next or the actual, I'll just read what Harpit has Trump trying to shift the blame of spreading pandemic and American new incoming presidential elections. Yes, very good. Kamaljit Singh, very good morning. Devraj Singh, very good morning. Uh, Sushant said politically biased slogan America first. Capitalism and upcoming elections may lead to collapse America, but he is very rigid upon capitalist performance. Okay, as in Nobel awardee economist Trump says today says Trump has gone mad. Okay, he's working for economics but not for the principle of DS. Okay, fine. And then I would say very big hi to everyone. So definitely now we will also look at the Trump's immigration policy. Trump's immigration policy, how it might impact the what do you say US foreign policy itself. Trump's immigration policy, how it would impact the US foreign policy, because as Sushant was saying that it will collapse the American capitalist collapse American itself, because he's just going ahead with the economic activity or just focused about the economy. He's focused about the economy to be stable because he's going for elections in November 2020. So definitely we will look at the immigration policy what he has taken. Would it be just on the what do you say on the paper that he has gone ahead just for the signature sake, or does it really work into progress? That will it be really in put into practice, that how the US foreign policy will definitely change the course of how US looks at how, or else how US foreign policy towards other countries is or would be in the near future. So look at it. When you look at the picture, it is very clearly saying that immigration policy, wherein the here it is a child and it is the what is a parent who is being pulled away. So it is the immigration policy. So these kind of immigration policy, how far it will benefit Trump itself, how far it will benefit Trump in the presidential elections, or how it will impact, or how will it impact the India or Indians or Indian diaspora, how it will impact the Indian diaspora who are in US, or who are Indians who are wanting to get into US. So when we are talking about this, it could be in regards to the employees, through the skilled workers, or it could be the students, or it could be in regards to the businessmen who are all wanting to get into US, or it could be a pleasure trip. Could be a pleasure trip, So fine, we will look at all this, the immigration, Trump's immigration policy, how it will change the course of US foreign policy, or else Trump's immigration policy and its impact on Indian diaspora. Please do understand now what I am trying to say. Trump's immigration policy and its impact on Indian diaspora. So when we are talking about Indian diaspora, definitely it is again a very big important topic for the prelims and also for the mains point of view. So look at the way we did try to take the advantage of the editorials and then getting back to the essence of civil services preparation. Please to understand the wordings. How did we take the advantage of the editorial, or what is come in the editorial in regards to exploiting pandemic, and then we are linking it with the Trump's immigration policy and its impact on Indian diaspora. Explain. Trump's immigration policy and its impact on Indian diaspora. It could be when I'm talking about Indian diaspora, it is also in regards to the remittances. It is also in regards to remittances, because many Indians or the Indian diaspora in US also go ahead with the sending, or else the remittances are back in the form of dollars again converted into money, that is part of the foreign exchange also. So how it will impact Trump's immigration policy and its impact on Indian diaspora. It could be the mains GS paper 2, in the international relations or Indian diaspora. It could be okay. Further getting into the topic, I would say, sir, actually Americans are growing because of immigrated smart brains. Yes, smart brains. Those are real people which work there and keep America flag flying high, and those are real growth. In contrast, Trump blames these people for their loss of jobs in America. Okay, Shushan says that someone should ask to Trump how much American percentage in America on the matter of economic population. Okay, very good. And the one who have joined again, Rudula Garg, Vinitha, Rudra Patek, all glory, all very good morning and a hi to you all. That is what I said. Whether the Trump's immigration policy will actually favor him in his stride, in the elections, because again I am talking about Indian diaspora. Please do understand here. So how the Indian diaspora will also impact or affect the outcome of US presidential elections. Please do understand this. Indian diaspora, impact of Indian diaspora on US presidential elections. Look at it, how we are trying to explore it. Indian diaspora, because of the immigration policy, we are again getting to the new concept called as impact of Indian diaspora on US presidential elections. Will there be an impact? I'm not saying there will be impact. I'm saying, will there be impact? If there is an impact, how it will be an impact? How much a percentage? That is what, when we are looking at the kind of bilateral relations between India and then US. It could be between Modi, the Prime Minister of India, Mr. Modi, and then the President of US, that is Trump. How the relations are going on, how Indian Prime Minister is going to US, and then again US President coming to India, and what is that impact? What is that actually? What do you say? The movement going on between the two heads of the country. Is it that really the Indian diaspora will be impacting the presidential elections? If that is the case, the immigration policy, whether it will be in favor of India, US President Donald Trump in his elections, or whether it will impact him negatively. What do you say? It's a question, and then we will wait for it. And then Madhu says, hi, good morning, sir. Sri Lakshmi also says good morning, and then very good morning to you all, both Madhu and Sri Lakshmi. Sushan sir, no, he is going to lose. Okay, fine. It's just, what is that? That is what we are looking at the topic from civil services point of view. It is not just what is a kind of discussion, what is going only for the sake of what is a 1 hour class. No, we are going ahead with the discussion, analysis, not even discussion. We are going ahead with the analysis, wherein it could be asked in different forms or different questions. In Trump's immigration policy and its impact on US presidential elections. Outcome of the US presidential election, that is internal matter. We'll not worry about it much. But in regards to the Trump's immigration policy and the impact of Indian diaspora on US presidential elections or the outcome of US presidential elections. So that itself very clearly states that whether Trump's immigration policy is for the favor of Indians or the what do you say Indians getting into the Indian immigrants, or else it is against, and how the impact would be. Fine. Now I'll get into the topic, because a very good what do you say background, or what do you say a kind of in-depth a kind of tidbit kind of thing, an explanation or brainstorming has been done before we actually get into the topic. And now have taken this heading as a pandemic policy. And then when you look at here, before I get into the topic, look at the way, I mean the image what I've taken is that Trump is going ahead with the kind of his election campaign, you can say. But look at what it is here, the national first, that is America first. America first. So his main intention is America first and protect the American jobs. Protect the American jobs. So if you look at this, definitely Anshu Priya says for Indian diaspora, panic and anger over Trump's immigration plans too. Okay, very good. Shushan says against globalization. Okay, we will look at how it is against globalization. Immigration policy, how is it against globalization? That is Trump's immigration policy and its effect on globalization. Discuss Trump's immigration policy and its effect on or else to be more specific, we can take this immigration policy, or we'll take Trump's foreign policy. Trump's foreign policy and its effect on globalization. Fine. And then Tarun Behra and then Gopi, who have joined, a very big hi to both of you also. Now we'll get into so I have taken this picture because he's worried about, always he's worried about, I mean he's projecting that he's worried about that nation first. Let's make America great. I mean Americans should be getting the jobs, or they should have the jobs. So we will look at what he has done, or else how the 4 years policy in regards to the how he has gone ahead with making sure that the jobs were created and there is the unemployment rate has decreased, and how it is really impacted. We will look into all that. So now the first point what I'll go ahead, what I have taken is, with more than 22 million Americans seeking unemployment benefit. This is very, very important. With 22 million Americans seeking unemployment benefit over the last month, why I'm saying over the last month, can anyone try to guess? Yes, it is because of the pandemic. It is because of the lockdown. It is because of the social distancing or COVID pandemic. Fine, COVID-19 pandemic. Because of that, there is no maximum economic activity in US. I'm talking about in US. So because of that, what do you say, lockdown, because of pandemic 19, because there is no much of economic activity, thereby 22 million Americans seeking unemployment benefit. Look at it. And then immigration policy has come up at this juncture. That means if what do you say immigrants are actually taking over the jobs of Americans, then why 22 million Americans are seeking unemployment benefit during the pandemic, during the national lockdown, or during the national lockdown, during maintaining social distancing to fight against the COVID-19? Why? It's a very big question now. I'm putting this question mark now. Fine. And then Trump has been, and with the general election looming, as we have discussed, Mr. Trump has been opening up the US economy, battling with, okay, then he wanted to go ahead with the economic activity to take up across US, and also he has spoken to all the governors of the state governors, and then making sure that how best they can go ahead with the strategic exist of the national lockdown, and then how the economic activity can slowly come into the action, so that the economy of the US, the states, various states, and then the US might still, what do you say, rather be stable and then slowly surge. So that is a cause of concern. But what is that I am emphasizing is, when Trump has gone ahead with Trump's immigration policy, that he says that he will sign, and then he will make sure that he will take care of the Americans jobs of the Americans. And if that is the case, then what was he doing all these 3+ years, and still 22 million Americans were seeking unemployment benefit. This is social security. This is a social security. So this is a social security which is part of the US government. So 22 million Americans. So what is that? So Anshu Priya says that when Trump announced a late night tweet that he suspended immigration to protect American jobs from the economic tailspin. Just a moment, I'll just read. Tailspin caused by the coronavirus. Priyanka Nagar prepared for the worst. Okay. It is the matter of every country during pandemic, employment and unemployment. Okay. Sir, is it contradict for the Indian Prime Minister hosting Mr. Trump and same Trump making sure stricter rules for immigration in a way hit the Indian diaspora, and the result India going to lose remittances from America? Trump embarking on national interest policy. Howdy Modi and Namaste. Trump seems to charge in the House people, but globally they are going to hit hard on the economics of countries, sir. Okay, fine. Here the question raises that uh, uh, definitely will there be an impact. The way I said that the two heads of the countries, that is India and US, they have gone ahead with engaging between both of them, the two countries engaging bilaterally. I'm saying bilaterally was very positive, that both the countries will move forward positively, and then having a win-win situation of mutual understanding between both the countries. But if you look at the situation now, there is a kind of, but we will not jump into conclusion. We will not jump into conclusion whether it is really impacting the remittances. That is what Harpreet, we will not jump into conclusion, because my explanation is there. My explanation is there. How far it will impact? That is what I was saying. How far it will impact the Indian diaspora? That whether the remittances will be at what do you say, at a hit, or whether because of the immigration policy a few of them will be secured. A few of them, I'm talking about few of them who are entering into, I mean, Indians who are entering into US as immigrants with few visas, under few visas, with, in the sense, under few visa permit, whether they are affected with Trump's immigration policy. Now again, see, this is what I'm saying, question mark, and then we will look at, definitely we will look at. And very good question you have raised. And then Anshu Priya was saying, when Trump announced a late back date, suspended immigration to protect American jobs. Yes, definitely, that is what, if we are saying that he is protecting American job, then what, why is that 22 million Americans are seeking unemployment benefits? Okay, we will not interfere into the internal matters of the, or else the social security of US goes ahead, but only in regards to the explanation, in regards to discussion, and just going ahead with a better, I mean, better point of view. We'll get to a better point of view, or rational or a practical point of view, when we are actually thinking in terms of UPSC for prelims analytical point of view, and then in regards to the mains point of view. So now Trump said that he will temporarily suspend. Here again point is, please do understand, this is what is to be looked into it. The suspension is not, what do you say, permanent. It is a temporary. Definitely no country can go ahead with a permanent, because if we go ahead with a permanent, then it will impact directly on its country's economy itself. In a longer run or very short period of time, it will impact the country's economy itself. So immigration policy will not be always, what do you say, in for a longer period of time, or it will not be for permanent, but it will be temporary, depending upon the situation, or depending upon the national interest, or depending upon the way they have to handle the domestic situation. Please do understand here, we are not just finding fault at US. We are talking about the foreign policy of any country. Foreign policy of any country is based on the particular country's national interest, first point. And the second one is depending upon the, when I'm talking about the national interest, it is in regards to the domestic situations, that country's domestic situation. And the third one is in regards to how best it will impact its political stability. The particular government of the day in that particular country will that policy will affect its political stability of that country. So if you are talking about these three, the fourth one is foreign policy of any country is dynamic. It's dynamic and it keeps on changing. It is never same, because the way we are talking about now, I mean, howdy modi and then namaste, then definitely it is, and then probably it will change for some time, because that is only temporarily. Why I'm trying to say all this is, it is only temporarily suspended immigrations. And why it is temporarily? What is the focus of Trump? His focus is to protect the American job. His focus is to protect the American job, and that is the priority. That is what I'm saying. National interest, domestic, what do you say, requirements, what people really want at that time. And it also depends, as I said, the political stability of that particular government in that situation, or in during that phase, or during that period, whenever it is, what do you say, they are inching towards the elections, then definitely it will be part of the strategy or the policy of that particular country. So nothing that we are raising points are against, but we are looking at it in a very practical and rational manner, because this analysis is important when you are actually writing an answer in the or else looking at a question in regards to which among the following statements are incorrect in the prelims. That is again based on the analysis, practical, rational, scientific analysis based on the country's specific foreign policy. So, foreign policy of any country is dynamic; it keeps on changing. And then we will also look at the way the what do you say, the India goes ahead, or impact how it goes ahead. So, Shushan said U.S. labor markets are, yes, very well said. Trump administration will introduce a bolster to collapsing U.S. Layman employment. Anshupriya says Trump also ordered a 60-day halt. Yes, in the issuing green card to prevent from immigrating to the United States. Yes, very good. And the one who have all joined, a very big hi to everyone. And that is what entire discussion will be. That is what the discussion has to be in a very, what do you say, dynamic way, and also what is required for the civil services when you are writing an answer. Very unbiased way. It should be unbiased. It should be stable. Even though if you are biased, I'm saying even though if you are biased, it should be justifiable. And then concluding with a balanced approach. Fine. So he has spoken about the, he said that he has taken ahead with the temporarily suspending of the immigration because of the invisible enemy. The invisible enemy, what he is talking about is definitely the SARS-CoV-2, or probably he might be referring to the Chinese coronavirus, because he made the statement initially when he was talking, this is SARS-CoV-2 and it is a China coronavirus. And then he wanted to protect the great American citizens, and also he wanted to protect the American jobs. And he will go ahead with the, he said he will go ahead with the signing the executive order which will temporarily suspend the immigrations into the United States. So definitely he is trying to woo the voters. Definitely he is trying to woo the voters through a measure of suspending the immigration policy, or suspending the immigration, coming up with the new, or Trump's new immigration policy. So he said that he will go ahead with the executive order to suspend for 60 days. So when we are talking about temporary, it is for 60 days, and he will go ahead with the suspended for 60 days, and then legal immigrations into the country. That why? Because he has just 6 months left from now onwards, hardly, to go for the elections, and that is why he is taking this step, a drastic step, wherein the entire world is not really what is convinced with the way the Trump is going ahead with the immigration policy at this juncture, when the world economy is actually, what you said, dwindling, when the global economy is dwindling, when the countries have to be coordinated now, when the countries have to come together and then help each other, making sure that each country is supported by whatever means by the respective countries to protect their individual economy and also support the all other countries economy. But if you look at the Trump's immigration policy, is the one which is raising a concern, raising fingers, raising eyebrows from across the, what do you say, globe, all the countries. Why this has taken? So this is definitely to make sure that not to protect the lives. Please to understand here. Probably he might definitely say that he is going ahead with the temporary suspension of the immigration policy for 60 days to protect the lives of the Americans. he will definitely go ahead with saying that to protect the lives of the Americans from COVID-19. But it is nothing to do with the COVID-19. That is why taking the advantage of the pandemic, exploiting the pandemic situation, probably Trump is going ahead with that, because just by saying that we wanted to protect the lives of the COVID-19, you just stop the immigrations and then say that the virus spread of virus will not take place. So we are trying to make sure that the spread of infection of the virus doesn't take place because of the travel history. I mean, persons with the travel history. But here definitely is to protect the jobs of the Americans. Jobs of the Americans. Okay, fine. Now we'll get into the other one. Now it's the main point what Sushant has written, I will read. What if impeachment of Trump, US President impeached due to his rigid policy? Once recent past, it has gone ahead. Nancy Pelosi, we have seen the Speaker of the House. They have gone ahead with, but it was not what you say in favor of Trump. I mean, it was not in favor of Nancy Pelosi or the Democrats, but it was favor of Trump itself, that they could not go ahead with the impeachment. There is, I mean, many of them did not like the way the policies taken up by the Trump on behalf of the US foreign policy, but definitely the impeachment which was initiated could not be a successful one against Trump. It was taken up. See, that impacts the kind of what you say capitalistic approach or capitalistic mindset of the Americans, or it could be the Democrats or Republic also, irrespective of the political party which is in power, irrespective of the political parties which is in power, because he being the businessman, Donald Trump, prior to what is becoming the US president, definitely is a businessman. So definitely his mindset is in regards to the economy and then capitalistic approach. Thereby, you never know when he was actually what is the impeachment was invoked in US House. Definitely, it was failed. It was a what you say dejected one. So probably what it is revealing is that they wanted capitalistic approach to be into the forefront. And now we will come to the point actually whether it is impacting or whether it will impact the Indians. If we look at the executive order, Harpit, Sushant, and all others, please look at this, because you made a point. That is what I did raise this point. Okay, Pratham Chavan, how India should cooperate with USA to improve trade and commerce. Okay, fine. I will definitely go ahead with that. Definitely. I too, Pratham also. There is one question which is now says as how India should cooperate with USA to improve trade and commerce. Definitely, we will look at it. And I mean, India's foreign policy is intact with US. I'm saying India's foreign policy with US is intact. I will tell last how we are actually going ahead with the trade, commerce, everything is intact. Nothing is actually disturbed. And now also, if you look at the executive order of the Trump's immigration policy, it is likely. Please do understand that is what how India is trying to maintain very good diplomatic relations with US. Even at the time of when the entire what is the countries are worried about the Trump's immigration policy, likely to carve out exemptions. That is why I've underlined this exemptions for certain categories of essential workers. So, definitely, Trump's immigration policy likely, I'm saying again, re emphasizing the word, reiterating it, likely to carve out exemptions wherein few of the Indians, I mean, on the way they get into the US through various visas, might be exempted. Might be. That is what we can again take it into consideration. The kind of relations, bilateral and then diplomatic relations, what India and US have. That in spite of Trump's immigration policy, there is a likeliness that there would be exemptions of certain categories of essential workers, especially in regards to the healthcare, because I think someone was talking about the brains. I mean, the Indians who have the brains that are working there, but ultimately they are blaming on Indians that we are actually stealing the jobs. No, the executive order is likely to have these exemptions, the one who are working in the healthcare and also who are working in the who are part of the critical role, and then who are actually being part of the entire this ongoing pandemic situation, who are part of this COVID-19 to make sure that the spread of virus do not take place, or who are in the forefront of the handling the infected coronavirus patients, Americans, or it could be anyone. It could be anyone, even the what do you say non-Americans who are staying in America also. It could be anyone. Wherein the one doctors, nurses, or the frontline workers who are part of the COVID-19 fighting against COVID-19, they would be exempted. They would be exempted, and the one who is also seeking immigrant via the immediate relatives, that means the one who is all the essential workers, part of the essential workers who are also seeking, they would be exemption. And it is likely, and Shushan said that there is always a competition in capitalist economy. Why it can't be possible if impeachment there are many deserving candidates and rich too? Definitely. See, I'll just talk something else now, which I would wish to, what do you say, give an explanation, or give. I would clear the doubt of Sushant in a very simple. We know, and prior to that, I will just say, what do you say, hi to everyone. Yes, definitely there are many deserving candidates, and then the one who are probably more richer than wealthier than Trump. Yes, definitely. No, no, no. I will say, because it will be very, very useful. Because see, in Indian cricket team, we have, what do you say, maximum 4 to 6 players who can at any given point of time get onto the field, and then make sure that they are, what do you say, in the winning streak when we are batting second, when India is batting second and so on. Fine. So definitely there could be X. I will not name them, X, Y, Z, or A, B, C. Actually, X is the one who will go ahead and then go with a very high striking rate, which he is actually, what do you say, many a times he has gone ahead with making sure that India wins. But probably on one given time, I mean, probably in a series, will take it in a series, in a one day series or a 2020 series. This X, Y, Z are the one who actually, what do you say, protect India by not winning, not losing, and then winning the matches. So probably we are just focusing on this, but there would be, what do you say, A, B, C, and then who would come, and then last one or what is it, 6 to 8 balls, we would go ahead with the, what is a winning streak. So what is important is individuals at any time who would be in a position to handle the situation or get the control over it. Probably Trump is trying to take the control over it now, and definitely you never know, or what is it, during the situation. I mean, the next election, probably there would be someone else who would come out as more capable than the Trump, or more capable. I'm talking about more wealthier and more, what do you say, having more capitalistic approach itself. So definitely it is the one who takes the situation in his or her stride, and then how best they can try to take the advantage of that particular situation, and then overcome the situation is very important. And in Hindi mein slide DJ sir. Who is this Anshu Vishwakarma? Okay. Hmm. I'm extremely sorry, because as it is a Let's Crack UPSC CSE English channel, so probably I am forced to go ahead with this. I'm compelled to go ahead. And then what is important is, in regards to that, the order is the order is not expected to halt. Not expected. They're not. It is not expected. Not expected to halt the visa processing, especially in regards to the H1B skilled laborers and H2B categories. So definitely there is a probability that these people who are, I mean, Indians who get into America through H1B visas or H2B visas category, they would be exempted. They would be exempted. The order is not expected to halt. Is not expected to halt. Please do understand this. Not expected to halt. That means the H1B, the one who are skilled laborers, and at H2B are the one who are seasonal workers, or who are working in the what is agri business or landscaping or hospitality. It's a what is it, unskilled. So H1B visas are the skilled, and H2B visas are the one who are getting into US immigrants, Indians getting into the US for a different or particular jobs. So probably the order is not expected to halt. They are not halting the visa processing. Now you understand the diplomatic relations between India and US, and then the bilateral relations between India and US. Howdy Modi and Namaste. How is it working? is it working or will it work, and how is it working. So definitely it depends upon the interest of both the countries, and then how the Indian, that is what I'm saying, how the Indian diaspora will impact the November 2020 US presidential election. Probably that is the reason, likely to carve out the exemptions. The order is not expected to halt visas. You never know. Impact of Indian diaspora on the US president elections is overruling, or what do you say, eclipsing Trump's immigration policy. As I'm saying, Indian diaspora can impact or affect the US presidential elections, eclipsing the Trump's immigration policy. Are you getting it? Okay. Pratham Chavan says, sir, how is this policy related with current oil price drop? Not exactly it is related with oil price drop. Not exactly. Not exactly. This is just in regards to the immigration policy. Pratham, it is just in regards to the immigration policy. Fine. And before I go to the next one, I would just read, insisting that newly job citizens should not have to compete with foreigners when the economy, insisting that newly jobless citizens should not have to compete with the foreigners when the economy reopens. Okay, okay, fine, but okay. Uh, why capitalists only worried about EGG, not about hens? Because they always invest the eggs. They invest the eggs into different baskets. They're not worried about the hens. They will not put the hens in the basket, in different baskets. They will put the eggs in the different baskets. Capitalistic approach. And then in a lighter sense, Sushant. And Anshupriya says it become increasingly complex, frustrating in recent years, as according to Trump. Okay, his night dream into US economy. Okay, fine. And then before I get into the topic again, next topic, I would say very big hi to everyone. I think Pratham Chavan has what do you say, got the point. How is this policy related with current oil price drop? Not really. Not really. It is fine. And the order is in regards to the line with tightening the US visa policy. Definitely, it is going ahead with the tightening the US visa policy. So we are talking about not only immigration, again we are getting into the US visa policy. So when we are talking about visa policy, so it impacts various countries also. So in this visa policy, now what there could be possibility is that whether any X, Y, Z countries are exempted. Please do understand whether with or in this regards to the US visa policy, whether X, Y, Z countries are exempted from few of the rules and regulations of the visa policy. Please do understand, or exempted from the few of the rules and regulations of visa policy. Probably India could be part of it, because we have seen that one policy, CATSA, CATSA from US. Can anybody say what is CATSA? And then I'll get into the topic. Can anyone say what was the CATSA policy? And then if you look at the state, we'll just talk about what is a few statistics. The State Department has issued 4,62,452 immigrant visas in 2009. But when we compare it with in 2015, it was what do you say, 6,17,000. Yes, very good, Harpreet. Countering America's adversaries through, okay, countering American adversaries through sanctions, through sanctions, America's sanctions. Definitely. Okay. So if you look at the 2015, it was 6,000, and then 6 lakhs, and then 2019 4 lakhs. So definitely the immigration policy is definitely getting into the action from what is that Trump, when he has come, or when he has become the 45th US president. So definitely, and you have something called as again UN Citizens and Immigration Services. Not only State Department, you have the State Department, you also have the US Citizens and Immigration Services. This has granted permanent residence to almost 5 lakhs 77,000 of people. So why we are looking at this, comparing it from 2015 till 2000, what you say, 20 now, because this 4 years, once Trump has, what you say, been the president of US, how the, what do you say, the immigration visas have come down. In 2015 it was 6 lakhs, and then 6 plus lakhs, and then when we look at that in the, what is the, look at the figure statistics, 2019 it is 4 lakhs. So definitely we will get an idea in regards to how the immigration policy is actually being implemented effectively to protect the American jobs. And then what he has come up with the campaign in the 2015, that he was going ahead with the campaign with let's make America great, and then America first. So definitely he has proved, the statistics proves that, and probably the Americans might switch over to you, I mean the Trump, in making sure that he would be again be in the as a second term as a president, right? And then if you look at permanent resident, 5 lakhs change, almost 6 lakhs are being given the permanent residents. So probably all these permanent residents I'm saying might vote for Trump. And now we will look at the fingers raised through Sanctions Act. Yeah, or you can take it as, rather than this, now we will look at what are the how, I mean, the fingers raised, countering American adversaries through Sanctions Act by the America. So fingers raised is now. Now we will get into the real concept by the Trump's immigration policy, how it will impact. So what impact does the House expect from this policy? White House itself. Because of this, what is impact? That is to have the job market, given that immigrants and non-immigrant travel to US have anyway fallen considerably. That means because of the COVID-19, we have seen since almost a month or so, what is happening is, because of the COVID-19, there is no, what is a movement of the foreigners across the globe itself, from one country to another country. So definitely when it is not happening, now what kind of immigrants are we talking about? What kind of immigrants policy is Donald Trump talking about? Please do understand now. Because since almost a month or so, the immigrants and non-immigrant travels have definitely fallen down considerably. So because of that, what kind of, what you say, immigrant policy is Trump talking about, that he will suspend for 6 months immigration policy. Now if you look at, almost 8 lakhs 26,000 people have been infected and 44,000 have been dead. So when so many Americans have been infected, and then also we were talking about 22 million unemployed are asking for the welfare scheme, the money, and then 40 to 44,000 dead. So at this time when the world is totally locked down, how does the immigrants or the migrants get into the, what do you say, come into the picture? Is it just because of elections, a show? And this is the picture I have taken, the immigrants, the condition of immigrants in US wanting to get into the few states. So look at how the situation is. And now the other point is, why target immigrants? Now the second question, this is why target immigrants? Because definitely we have seen that these immigrants have definitely outnumbered, because definitely it is day by day, we have looked at the permanent residents also, fine, it is almost 5.7, 5,77,000. So when these immigrants are outnumbered each year, that is a job seekers are entering through temporary visa. So when they are entering into the temporary visa route, what is importance of, what is a immigration policy now? What kind of immigration policy? Suspending the immigration policy for 6 months, how does it really work? Because definitely the immigrants are getting into the US through the, what is a temporary visa routes. So when they are entering into US through the temporary visa route, you are going ahead with the sanctioning of the immigration policy for 6 months. How does it really stop the immigrants to get into US and then go ahead with having some kind of jobs? Is again a big question mark. The first one is definitely because of the COVID-19, the travel history of any person, that is a migrants or immigrants, is not happening. And also if you look at almost 8 lakhs plus are infected Americans, and then 44,000 dead, and then the situation is very bad. Okay, Anshupriya was talking about once the what is a pandemic situation, it comes to a halt or it decreases gradually, then when the economic activity take place, then Americans should get the jobs. That is a valid point you made, Anshu. Americans should get the job rather than what is it, those jobs are being grabbed by the immigrants or the what is it, the migrants who would enter into India. So this is definitely by the travel or else a temporary visa route, immigrants are getting into US and they're getting the jobs. So how come this sanctions or temporary sanctions on immigrant policy really work out? And then the executive order is the first several policies, always in the sense an aggressive step or aggressive act, which we are all aware of, what is a US President Donald Trump takes with it. Now that whether that the Trump administration will introduce to bolster the collapsing US labor market. This is what the keyword what Sushant was talking about, US labor market. So the executive order and what actually what do you say, Anshupriya and then Harbit were talking about, that is, and the others who are also not, definitely they are also in that kind of what you say thinking capacity itself. But I'm just making a point or referring to the one who is actually just made a few lines or put forward their point in regards to on in the comment box. So this is in regards to the how the Trump is worried about the collapsing labor market in US. This is very important. So is not really what is a when we are talking about labor market, definitely this will impact the presidential elections, US presidential elections, labor market. And then to bolster the collapsing labor market, he is focusing on the immigration policy. So what is again very important in regards to the prelims analytical point of view is this bolstering the collapsing US labor market, and from mains point of view. And then whoever have joined, again a very big hi to them. And then Pratham also said, sir, what about the unskilled and semi-skilled labor sector? That is what the unskilled and the semi-skilled people will definitely get into the what you say the process, or else the immigration policy will not affect, might not affect, taking into consideration that how the Indian diaspora would also impact the elections. And now if we look at, this is a comprehensive strategy which is one taken up by the US President Donald Trump, and this is now very important. Whether this strategy does not emerge in the coming weeks or months, then only suggests that the president has pivoted his signature campaign issue of immigration. So please understand. Now, for whatever reasons, if he said that he will go ahead with his signature or it will come into existence in a week, he said, in a week, and probably in a week, if if the immigration policy or the what do you say suspending the immigration policy, if it really doesn't come into action, and even after months also, if I'm saying a very big if if it doesn't come into action, then probably this whatever he has said that I will sign it, so that signature would be just an a campaign, signature campaign what he has gone ahead with in the year 2016, when he has gone for what is a contesting as a US president. So it is very important that he is trying to hit the psychology of the Americans, that they would be getting attracted towards the immigration policy of Donald Trump, that he might be continuing in the second term as a US presidency. So here signature campaign is again a keyword what is important for you when you are writing an answer, if that all. Fine. And then a very big hi to everyone who has joined now at the back end of the session. And what is the other point which is very important is, okay, Shashikant also says good morning, very good morning Shashikant. And please do look at here to from here, please do look at it, everyone. to animate his core constituent base, to animate his in the sense here it is Trump, his constituent base of blue collar workers. Please do understand here, blue collar workers across red states. Can anyone say what is this blue collar workers across red states? Okay, I will tell because time is running out. You have something called as blue and red, because whenever you see the US presidential elections, it is the map, it is covered with blue and red. I'm talking about the result. When you are in front of the television and then going ahead with the results, then definitely it is blue and red, and the campaigning also takes place in regards to the blue and red itself. So what is this blue collar and then in the red states? He made a point here, very valid point, and then we have to look at it. And then he said that constituent base of blue collar workers across the red states of the country, that is the US itself. Now we will look at the Republican Party is generally considered as red. Republican Party as red, and then the Democratic Party as blue. Blue. Fine. That means the blue collar workers, that is the Democratic, the one who are Democrats, I mean supporting Democrats, workers in the red state, that is in the states wherein Republicans have won the elections. So look at the way he has focused, trying to go ahead with impacting the mindset of the blue collar workers, that is the Democrats who are working in the states wherein it is been ruled by the Republicans. So that is what it is. And then before I get to the next point, I would just read what Sushant has said. Between this kind of policy and sanctions should take by every country, as we are discussing about the travel history, maybe LPG, now new economic world get affected, but for 6 months there should be closed economy extreme step only for citizens. People won't die because of important kind of, okay, fine. Chota Bhim has joined. What is happening to you, Chota Bhim? You have joined after exactly 1 hour. Class is going to end. That is what I'm saying. You have started exactly after 1 hour. Sushant Aktekar sir, live home. Okay. Shishikant Aketer. Fine. The one who have also joined now, I would say very big hi. And then Pratham Chavan also says that is this in line with shipping of US companies from China? Not really, it will not happen. Definitely there would be some kind of, what you say again, an adjustments which will be done for the benefit of both the countries. Non-officials, field jobs, manufacturing sector, labor centric. No, it is just, that is what, it is just a temporary one. It is just a temporary one. Nothing to worry about it, because as I said, it is a dynamic one. It is temporary, it is a dynamic. When I say it is dynamic, it keeps on changing. And then the next point what I would take is that types of visas. So we were worried about the immigrant policy or immigration. So definitely immigration takes place through, what is a visa. So we will look at what are the different types of visas, and these are very important in regards to the prelims factual and analytical point of view. So we have this H1B visas and H2B visas, which I was talking about, probably exempting manufacturing states labor centric. Okay, Pratham Chavan says that manufacturing centric states labor. Definitely it is going ahead with the production. It looks into the manufacturing sector. It looks into the, what is a service sectors. It looks into service sector wherein they wanted the labor centric, wherein that the kind of labor centric is really being at a alarming pace, at a challenging pace, wherein the jobs are not there. So they wanted to, I mean, US president wanted to protect those labor centric areas. And then H1B is, what do you say in regards to the skilled employment? It is valid for 3 years, maximum of 6 years. And then in regards to the H1, whoever is carrying H1B visa and then getting into the US, their dependents, it could be spouse, so they will get the H4 visa. Please do understand, H1B visa for the skilled workers and who have been into US, and then they can work for 3 years, and then maximum is 6 years. And then when they get there and once their spouse are again back to US, so they are called as dependents, and then they will get the visa called as H4 visa. And then those that is the spouses of the H1B visa holders, can go ahead with the work in some instances itself. And then H2B visa, it is what do you say, a foreign residents, only a foreign residents who can fill a position which is temporarily. So H2B visa is just as temporary, and this is just a seasonal and a temporary work. Whenever there is a what is a seasonal or any temporary work, then the foreign resident, I mean the one who is, for example, from India. So India, if he is going from India, definitely he has to be a resident of India. Only then in that case he would be allowed to US through the H2B visa, wherein they can go and work there, which would be a seasonal and a temporary work, and then that could be a maximum of 2 years. But generally it is very shorter than that, because it is a seasonal and a temporary one. Fine. And then H2B visa are not convertible to permanent residence, as many a times even we see H1B visa, if they are what you say for 3 to 6 years, and then again later on, depending upon the situation and the demand of the company of that particular skilled employee, there could be a possibility of extension of the H1B visa. Then in that regards, the H1B visa holder can go ahead with applying for the permanent residence. But in regards to H2B visa, there is no possibility that the person holding the H2B visa can go ahead with the, or he can convert into the permanent residence. So I have taken this because it is very, very important, because many of you will just look at what is the immigrant policy of Trump, but we will not be worried about the visas, and that is what is very important. And this could be a major question, I mean question in regards to prelims, in regards to the match the following. Match the following, you would have one side the visas, and then the other side the reasons, I mean how, what is actually what you say objective of the visa, how we can go. So definitely it is a prelims point of view, and I have taken this definitely to make sure that it will be beneficial for you as a civil servant aspirant, because I keep saying every day, no stone unturned. It is not that we have to fix it to only one point what they are talking about, we have to get into the various aspects, and that is why I have taken this H1B visa and H2B visa. And then in regards to the, you have another one visa that is called as B1 visa, wherein B1 visa will hold, I mean will allow a holder to visit US, which is in regards to the business related project, which is, thank you very much, which is in regards to the business related project. And these persons can go ahead with taking that B1 visa for visitor or for business visa itself. And then the one who holds the B1 visa in regards to the business related project, in related to the business related projects, they have the facility to go ahead with these options. B1 visa person or the holder will have or can go ahead with conducting or conduct negotiations, solicit sales or investment. We can go ahead with the one who holds the B1 visa in regards to business related project can solicit or sales or investment, discuss planned investment or purchases, can go ahead with making investment or purchases. So look at, we have different kinds of, that is how the economic activity also flourishes in US, and they can also attend meetings and participate in them fully, and they can go ahead with interview and hire staff. This B1 visa holders can go ahead with this is interview and have also hired staff, and they can also go ahead with conducting research. So we are definitely in a different mode of just not looking at the immigration policy suspension and how it is beneficial for you, Donald Trump in regards to elections, but how it is beneficial for you as a civil servant aspirant also we are looking at it. And now in regards to B2 visa, it is generally in regards to the an holder who would wish to travel, or in regards to the travel activities itself. And here in this case it could be in regards to the tourism, business or medical treatment. So in regards to tourism, if wants to go any person or individual, business or medical treatment, this is very important because many Indians go to US in regards to the medical treatment, and that is based on the B2 visa. Please do understand, this could be a question also for prelims point of view, based on the immigration policy which will affect, which might affect the Indians in regards to carrying H1B visa or H2B visa, or in regards to that added we are discussing about in regards to B1 visa and then also B2 visa also. And then they can have a holiday in the US, they can tour or they can visit their friends and families, even that takes place. Many of the Indians, they go and then visit their friends and families, and that is in regards to the B2 visa. And then they can participate in social events, that also takes place. Many of them, they go to US and then they go ahead with social events hosted by various other organizations. Many of Indians, I mean, many Indians, many what do you say, people belonging to various organizations and institutions, social, where it is in regards to the impacting the social activities. They go ahead with being part of the meetings through the B2 visa, and then visit visa as we discussed in regards to medical treatment, and also in regards to the having related to music or sports also. Now I think you all are getting this point why it is important, sports and music. I'm talking about India, and very nowadays we are into getting into sports, into varied sports, not only cricket, but into various sports. So this is very very important also. And then in regards to the various study courses also, we can go ahead, and that also constitutes, or it is what you say, under the B2 visa. And then, sir, I need preparation for BHU entrance for hospitality and tourism management. I need preparation for BHU entrance. Okay, how can I help? Please tell me. Manoj Srivastava, I will try to help you. And then you have also have the F1 visa. F1 visa is for generally for the students. It's generally for the students, wherein when you have this F1 status, once you're getting into the what do you say US as a student, when you have the F1 status, that means you as a student have to be funded. Basically, when you're getting into US as a student to study there, then you have to be funded by your personal sources and also the outside sources. Please do understand F1 status. If you are entering into US in any of the universities as a student, then you will hold, or you can go ahead with having the F1 status. And in when you are getting into what do you say, as a student into US universities, then you should be funded. I mean, you should be funded by your personal sources, by your individual sources, whoever is getting into it, or outside sources, or it could be combination of the two, individuals or outside sources. Fine. So the funding has to take place, and this funding, whenever you get, then you are eligible to get into the universities as as a student through F1 visa. Please do understand it. We are taking it into a what do you say, core prelims point of view, and then it could be asked in any competitive exam also, any competitive exam, because many of them do not concentrate on this. No stone unturned. We will what do you say, hit the rod where it is really important. And this F1 visa is a part-time on-campus employment. And whenever you finish your course, or you have a break in your course, that means recess. Whenever you have a break in your course as a student, when you get into the universities, so when you are holding what do you say, F1 visa, in that recess, that is in that break time, when the course ends, and you have a what is a certain period of time wherein it is what is a vacation for the university, then F1 status may work full time. This is again beneficial. Look at it, and we know all this, but under which visa holder it all happens, we need to have that. As a civil servant aspirant, we need to know that information thoroughly, and that is F1 status can work for a full time itself whenever there is a recess or a break for the course. And you also have a J1 visa, which is a large or a substantive portion is funded by the outside sources. Here in this case, F1, we were talking about the personal sources, personal, or what do you say, outside sources, or combination with it. But here in regards J1, it is the outside sources who would be funding, such as university or the government. So definitely, many of them would wish to get into the students would wish to get into the universities through J1, because they need not really go ahead with funding their own, personal funding, but universities will fund in which university you wanted, or what you say, government will be funding. So that is what is the difference between the F1 visa in regards to the student, and then J1 visa in regards to the student. And then as compared to the F1 also, it is a part-time and then on-campus employment. But here F1 status may also work for full-time whenever there is a recess, that is a break in the course in the university, but only through the permission of the alternate responsible officer. So you have a responsible officer who looks into your what you say, student visas, that is in regards to F1, and then in regards to J1 visa. So definitely that is important, that if you are, the holder is in regards to the J1 visa, then he has to take the permission of the alternate responsible officer, so that you can go ahead with the working there as the J1 officer. J1 visa, under J1 visa as a student. How this policy will affect service sector of India as well as the major service sector in these policies will definitely impact, but definitely again it would be a temporary, making sure that it will impact the remittances. It will impact the remittances, how what the US, I mean Indians would, Indian diaspora would get back to India. And you have another visa called as O1 visa. This is non-migrant visa to the one who have extraordinary ability. Please do understand here, who have the extraordinary ability, who are getting into the US to work in the field of expertise. So whoever has the, what you say, an expert knowledge in, what you say, a particular field, in particular field, so they can get into, what is a US, to work into the US company in the field of expertise. So that is to the, what you say, O1 visa. And then O1 visa will offer an employment from a US employer and prove that you are extraordinary in your field. That means you are getting into the US, you are working there in regards to having an expert knowledge, and then US employer, the one who is providing you the job, will again, what you say, give you an offer, that is the offer through an O1 visa. So that is in regards to the whoever has the expert knowledge in, what you say, a field of expertise. And then you also have the E1 visa. This is also for the non-immigrant visas, which is again in regards to the certain countries wherein they go ahead with the trade activities. Please look at it. This is only in regards to the trade activities, nothing to do with the working or the skilled or semi-skilled or the students or the, what is the expert knowledge. It is only particular or exclusively for the trade activities to take place. So whenever there are trade activities taking place, then definitely E1 visa is being granted to the non-immigrant, and this is through the treaty trader or the treaty investor. So the individual can obtain the E1 visa only, I mean as a point, or as a trader. So you have a treaty trader, you have it, and then treaty investors. Either you will be an investor or a trader. So depending upon you as an investor or a trader, you will have the E1 visa. And then you have another one visa called as T1 TN visa, which is created by NAFTA, that is North American Free Trade Agreement, and this is only to the citizens of Canadian and Mexicans who would wish to come to US and then work under a US employer. So we have definitely looked at, what you say, a couple of visas which are really important for prelims point of view. So we have looked at H1B visa, H2B visa, B1 visa, B2 visa, and then F1 visa, J1 visa in regards to the students, H1 and then H2 in regards to the skilled and semi-skilled, and then B1 in regards to business related project, B2 in regards to the travel. It could be travel or it could be in regards to the tourism, business or medical treatment. And then F1 visa, as we spoke about, it is in regards to the students. J1 is in regards to the students, and then again O1 is in regards to the one who have the expert knowledge and would wish to get into the field of expertise. E1 is, and again regards to the trade and investment or trade. And then TN is in regards to the NAFTA, which has been created exclusively for the Canadian and then Mexican citizens who would wish to work in the US employer. I mean, provided by the US employer, that is a T1 visa. So I would read what Hanshupriya said. Trump's plan to suspend immigration would affect Indians waiting to migrate to US. Definitely. Not only what you said, Trump's immigration policy, even the COVID-19 also impacts the Indians who would wish to immigrate, especially the students. Especially the students. I mean, the students who would wish to get into the universities to the F1 and then J1 would be maximum hit, along with the H1 and also H2B visas. They would also be hit, but maximum it would be in regards to the universities now, because the intake will be at a particular time. So definitely it is a cause of concern for the, what do you say, students, Indian students who would wish to study abroad. So that would be a major hit now. So I think, are refugees included in this new policy? Refugees are the, what you say, I was talking about again Indians. I mean, there should be a resident of the particular country. That is what refugee and then immigrants are very different. Immigrants would be definitely and citizen of the particular country. But refugee may or may not be a citizen of the particular country. He could be a particular of another country, but what you say, staying as a refugee in Y country. So from Y country, when he or she is getting into the US as a through immigrant policy, then definitely it will not be considered. It will not be considered. Okay, so I personally feel that I have taken up the topic in regards to all the aspects which are required for prelims and also for the mains point of view, especially focusing on the match the following in regards to prelims point of view and also in regards to the Trump's immigration policy or Trump's US policy impacting the globalization I discussed about and its benefits. Globalization I spoke about and how it might even impact the Indian diaspora impacting on the uh, outcome of the US presidential elections. So how the exploiting of pandemic by the US President Donald Trump to protect the jobs of the Americans or to make America, let's make America great, what he has gone ahead in his election campaign. So this is in regards to the immigration policy of Donald Trump. So I feel, what about the debt crisis? Debt crisis in regards to what, Sushant? Please let me know. So I would say again a very big hi to everyone who had joined, and then also thank you everyone. Thank you all everyone, and then please let me know, Sushant, what and I feel personally that I have taken up the way. I mean, from various angles we did cover this for the prelims and mains point of view also. And then again, I would go back to the what you say same screen. Okay, Kumar Sauro, thank you very much also. Sir, previous trade question. Previous trade question. What is that trade question, Pradhan? About how this policy will affect service sector. That is what I'm saying. Definitely, service sectors are the one wherein again tourism, business, that will definitely impact. If he is going ahead with what you say B1 visa and B2 visa, then definitely it will impact. So that is what how far the US or else Trump's Trump's in immigration policy will impact the Indians or Indian diaspora is a big question mark. Whether there could be mild changes or amendments or relaxation to few countries or what do you say couple of countries which are really what do you say not adversaries but friends to US. So I would go ahead with again concluding. Please go ahead with the subscription, that is Let's Crack UPSC CSE channel subscription, and then go ahead with the 24-month subscription. As I repeat once again, go ahead with subscribing using my code SBT10, that is Sandeep Bhushan Thummala. Sandeep Bhushan Thummala, Thummala. So go ahead with this, and then as you will just make sure that you will pay only for 13 months, but you will be subscribing for 24 months, and the other one is you are benefited out of this. Okay, Surya Kiran, I am in 7th class. It is for me. Surya Kiran. Okay, hi sir. Surya. Okay, hi Surya. 7th class. Also, I mean, if you really wanted or you have the kind of zeal to know what is happening in and around, irrespective of which class you are, irrespective of which standard you are. I mean, what you are actually studying. If you have the what you say will to know, if you have that zeal, if you have that angst to know that yes, I need to know at least from this age what is happening in and around the world in regards to different sectors, different areas. So definitely you can go ahead. You can also go ahead with subscribing. There's nothing wrong in it because in fact you will be having more of knowledge right from what you say your higher secondary schools. That is a higher primary. From 8th to 10th is the one which is really important for your basics to be very strong. And this is the what you say the school level standards wherein it makes your further the kind of preparations very strong. Fine, definitely. It will be very, very important if you go ahead with this. Harpreet said keynote foreign policies are dynamic. Government can tweak for three benefits here. Trump found a way to exploit it in regarding to focusing coming elections. Definitely, that is what I said. Whatever is that it takes, it is only for the what you say national interest. Ultimately, the national interest. Okay, what do you mean by Anshu and one other? Okay, fine, definitely. And then I would conclude it by saying thank you very much. And then I would say a point here that I would take a break tomorrow. I would take a break for the special classes. What we are actually going on since almost, what do you say, close to 20 days, I think so, more than 20 days. So we will have a break. We will have a break for special classes, that is 10 o'clock in the morning. We will have a break, and then if you are all interested, you can join at 11 o'clock in the YouTube tomorrow. Special class is break, temporarily suspended, temporarily suspended, but you will have the say almost, not almost, same explanation even in, what you say, YouTube also. YouTube 11 o'clock morning, 11 o'clock. So you can join there also. You can also go ahead with the same kind of, because special class it's a break for some time, but you can have it I will be available in the YouTube 11 o'clock, 11 a.m. We will go ahead with the same kind of, what you say, discussion 11 a.m. YouTube. No, no, it is Unacademy itself. Unacademy. It is Unacademy itself. Let's crack UPSC CSE English channel. Unacademy itself. Let's crack UPSC CSE English. Yes, yes, yes. Let's crack UPSC CSE English. I will also be available tomorrow 11 o'clock. I will be available in the, what you say, YouTube. Tomorrow we'll take a break for Unacademy special classes. And everyone who is interested to go ahead with will listen to my lectures the same way, descriptive analysis and then in-depth analysis, then you can please join at your, what do you say, 11 o'clock YouTube. Chotabim, are you listening, Chotabim? And then Pratham says, thank you, sir, for your patience, time, and precious knowledge. God bless you, sir. Thank you very much, Pratham. Thank you very much. Because I keep on saying that I teach the way I feel that I am preparing. Because in the YouTube comment has come, thank you, sir, for your patience, time, and precious knowledge. God bless you, sir. I'm really happy that what you say, students are in regards to benefited by my lecture, and I always say that this is what I'm looking at. This is what my knowledge, whatever I have the experience, I would definitely try to give it back to my civil servant aspirants who are my students, who are watching my classes. I will definitely give it utmost. So why this economic psychological all? Fine. Once again, see you tomorrow, 11 o'clock YouTube. Let's crack UPSC CSE English and Academy channel. Thank you very much. And then please go ahead with your. Thank you, Anshu. Thank you very much. Thank you, Kumar Sauro. Thank you very much. It's all your blessings. It's all your blessings. And my blessings will definitely be in the form of trying to provide the best information which is useful for prelims and for the mains. Best in the sense I'm talking about the factual and also in regards to analytical point of view. Uh, thank you very much. And then I was about to say something. Okay, fine. Never mind. See you tomorrow at 11 o'clock YouTube channel. And then go ahead with giving your comments and also your observations, whatever you wish to in the, what do you say, in the Unacademy special classes. Thank you. And then I would wind up the class.